Are you ready?
Man, I'm about to... Let's do this.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon with Bama Fitness, and today we have a special guest, and that is my cousin Tony. If you don't know Tony, he is a fitness instructor up in the Albany, New York area, and he is a great trainer to work with. Let me tell you, before we get into this, I worked out with him a couple times, and I'm not gonna lie, I died. But he always pushed me because he know I could do better with my workouts. Because sometimes, as we all do, we slack. But he always kept pushing me because he knows that at times I don't go to my max, which is an issue for me. But he always seen something inside of me, and he always pushed me to become the best individual athlete that I can be. And I appreciate that, brother. So Tony, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Right. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Tony, tell me a little about yourself that people do not know about you. Like, where are you from exactly, and like what exactly are you into now? Like training. Like, where do you train?
So I reside in upstate New York. I'm a fitness instructor. I'm also a wellness coach. I'm also a nutrition specialist. So I do a wide variety of things that revolve around exercise, but not just physically, but also mentally as well, because I think that's an important component to it that people tend to forget. So,
Mm-hmm.
trying to integrate everything into one and create like a specialized program for all individuals.
What gym do you work at right now?
Right now, I work out of a studio. It's actually not a gym.
Okay.
It's a fitness studio, which is specializes in one-on-one training.
Okay.
So it's called Pit Fitness
Mm-hmm.
here in upstate New York.
All right. How long have you been training people for?
So I've been a certified personal trainer for almost 10 years now. I started taking it a little bit more seriously the top of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but due to COVID and with restrictions and everything like that, it was a little bit more challenging. So,
Mm.
just stay with it. And so, yeah, it's just seeing like some type of steady progress in a sense. So,
Gotcha. And before, like you working out, in this fitness industry and whatnot, what were you doing before?
so I had a 9 to 5 where I was working for a financial institution.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was in that field for 7, 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were like, you know what? I don't want to do this for the rest of my life.
No,
Fitness is my thing, like
right.
I should go full time doing this.
Right. So, I mean, for those that know me, know that, fitness has always been a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness has always been like a therapy for me in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's really less about the weights. It's more about just the movement and being able to push myself physically, which in turn helps me push myself mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I just got sick of it, and I was just like, I couldn't do it no more. I felt like I was missing out on something. I felt like, if I continue doing what I was doing, then I was ultimately sacrificing, you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
something that I really didn't want to do.
Gotcha.
Also,
Yeah.
something that I could have been great at. So,
Mm-hmm. And like before, like you said, fitness has always been, part of your life.
right.
Like were you in sports? Like
Yeah.
back in like high school and whatnot, that like
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
got you into it?
Yep. So I've always been athletic. I've always been into sports, regardless if it was from baseball to football or track and field. I've always, been in some type of sport, some type of athletic, you know, um, some type of athletic conditioning. So, yeah.
Man, awesome. Guys, if you did not know, my father and Tony's father used to have their own baseball team when we
Yep.
were like super young. Tony was on the team, but I wasn't on the team because I sucked at it. So, yeah, karate was my thing. So I stuck with karate.
Right.
But yeah, but little fun fact for y'all.
Right.
So, with training nowadays, the fitness industry, a lot has changed. So, how do you keep your knowledge like up to date?
Well, you always want to be on the lookout for new things. Science changes every day, like you just said. So it's always good to be informed about certain things. Implementation too is also key. Trying it out is the best way to stay up to date. With everything. But like I said, just being abreast of things and researching things and just staying on top of like I said, science, because it's always changing. Things are always changing.
Yeah, no,
But
for sure.
one thing that doesn't change is exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whatever type it is, it doesn't change.
That is true. That is true.
Right.
I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Wow. And it's like the little things too.
It is.
You don't even think about.
It is. But no matter what you do, I mean, you can do the craziest type of workout. You can have the craziest type of exercise, but as long as you're getting some type of movement in there, that's really what matters. Now, if you're training for like sports specific or whatever the case may be, then that's a little bit different. But nonetheless, movement is movement. Nonetheless, that's how I look at it. So
good. Now, do you have any like fitness goals that you're trying to reach yourself?
You know what? My goals adjusted. I'm not that young man like I used to be. I said I'm not. I'm still young.
Yeah.
However, I'm not, as young as I was. So, my goal right now is just to be well-rounded and be able to move. And, later in life, I've always told myself I don't want nobody taking care of me.
Yeah.
So my thing is I don't care about how much weight I'm lifting. I don't have to bench the heaviest or squat the heaviest or deadlift the heaviest. I do things to test my ability at times, for sure. However, I don't always train in that state. I'm more so trained in like an athletic state. So just functional movement and stuff like that.
Yeah, functional movement is, I would say, everyone should get into like do functional movements. Not a lot of people do that. A lot of people are just, like you said, just focus on like lifting the heaviest and whatnot.
Right. However, it's the little things that can build upon the big things, So, if we break it down, just being able to do a simple squat motion or a simple lunge motion can, and you can really just build upon that. So things of that nature really help. And you don't always need to, go super heavy to have the results that you're looking for.
That is true.
Acquire strength other ways or acquire whatever type of physique other ways. So.
For sure. And like with not just like with working out, nutrition is also a key aspect, and either getting bigger or cutting weight and whatnot. And not a lot of people like focus on both. A lot of people focus on individual. Okay, I'm going to work out. I want to get bigger. I'm going to eat like crap and just work out as much as I can, or it's like the opposite. Right. But they both combine together. Yes. Do you say that, or?
Absolutely. You can't have one without the other. Sure, you can eat like crap, but then again, your results are going to look like crap. You can gain, but you might not gain in the areas that you really want to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, eating is a vital component, not even just for like exercise purposes, but just for overall health purposes. Why wouldn't you want to eat better? Why wouldn't you want to make your insides feel good just as good as your outsides? So
for sure,
it doesn't make any sense when one person wants to do one thing but not do the other component too. It's overall health and wellness that you want to, you're trying to obtain, and longevity is key. You want to live a healthy life to the best of your ability. So
for sure. Now with like the nutrition side, do you say like any diet or any, let's include like supplements are like best for individuals, or like do you stay away from all that stuff? What is your thoughts about that?
So my personal thoughts is I don't take supplements. I mean, the only supplement I may take, maybe, like a protein powder or something like that. Other than that, I mean, I've never really been one to dive into any type of supplementation. Even a pre-workout, I might get like a small coffee or something like that. But I switched over because coffee started to hurt my stomach. Yeah. So I switched over to like a tea, So it all depends on the person as far as the nutrition wise. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's goal is different. You know, everybody has a different intake or a different outlook on the way that they view food. And, you know, so it's, you gotta really look at all the different scopes that somebody may be looking out of.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's perspective is completely different. And that's what I found, you know, it's hard to get somebody to do something when ultimately they've been perceiving it for so long in their own way.
Yep. So. Absolutely. Totally understandable. It's funny you bring that up about like the coffee thing, because like beginning of the year, I was, you know, I love coffee, and I would drink it. Then I want to say about like a month ago, started drinking it. Then my stomach started to hurt. I'm like, all right, kept on drinking, stomach. I'm like, all right, let me go a day without it. I'm good. After like 2 or 3 days without coffee, then I was like, you know what? Let me try coffee again. My stomach hurt. I'm like, it's the coffee. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna switch to tea, and I started drinking more tea.
Right.
So,
right.
and
that's the same thing that was happening to me. I felt like, you know, I get up so early in the morning. I drink a coffee. I bring the coffee with me, and it just started. It was like my stomach was having a fight.
Yeah.
It was a terrible feeling. Like that. And after that, I was like, I don't want to feel this no more.
No. Oh man.
No.
Word.
Tea. I was like, I got to do some research. I got to find something that's like caffeinated tea or whatever case may be, that's a little bit more beneficial, whatever case may be. So I was like, I can't. After that, I was like, nope, no more coffee.
I think tea is way better than coffee too. So a lot of people that are fitness influential people and, you know, fitness professionals, they only usually post, you know, just workouts and them doing workouts and whatever. That's it. But you do that, but you also have like a lot of like influential, like motivational, like speeches and like videos that you do as well. Like what made you, you know, get into that as well? Because you are like super motivational. Like when I watch the videos and whatnot, I'm like, dang, he just pumped me up, you know, like I'm good. Like what made you, you know what, people need this motivation. Let me get out there and, you know, give them that motivation.
Well, because it's much more than just a physical component. You know, there's so much more to fitness than just, you know, going in there and banging out some weights or, you know, having a routine. Like you got to have the mindset, you know, because it's not easy to do that day in and day out. And, you know, for somebody who's just starting out, you know, it's a whole process that you go through. So to bring something different as far as like the motivation, then I look at it as somebody else who could use it, somebody else who could look at a video or look at my caption in a video and, you know, kind of gauge where I might be at that moment in time, or, you know, understand that it's just, like I said, it's more than just weights. You know, and my brand is, it's called It's Only Weight, and it doesn't just stand, it's not like a physical weight, and I don't want anybody to get that confused. Because I've had that in the past, where somebody thought it was like a physical weight of somebody. No, it's like the weight that we carry day in and day out. You know, the stressors, the triggers, the, you know, the negative mindset, the cognitive biases, the things of that nature that we carry every day that we don't look at, that we sometimes skip over and think that we can just kind of, you know, avoid it by going to work out physically, and that'll just give us that temporary relief. However, the problem is still there. So, you know, It's Only Weight is more so about like, how do we take that, that, you know, that trigger, that problem of sorts, and try to break that down to where we're able to understand it better, and, you know, moving forward, we know how to manage it.
That's awesome. Like I didn't even think about that, because I know you have your brand It's Only Weight. I'm thinking It's Only Weight, like, you know, dumbbell, like the weight of that. But no, It's Only Weight. Like if you're, dang, man, I didn't even think about that, man.
And you know, the funny thing is, a lot of people don't though, and so they see like they see it's like it's intimidating, and then, you know, they'll look at me in association with the brand, and they'll think like, oh well, he's a fit guy, and he's buff, and this, that, and the third, and he's big, or whatever case may be. So that's what it must stand for. No, it's much more than that. How I look is how I look. I choose to look this way.
Yeah.
I put in the work, I put in the time, I put in the dedication, the effort to look a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, however, somebody else may look, or whatever their goal is, then we adjust it. But ultimately, we have to look at the mental aspect of things
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that they understand that they have the ability to do it. Because some people, will step up to a bar or look at some weights and be like, oh, that's too heavy, this, that, and the third. Well, how do you know it's actually heavy if you don't even try? And that goes to the same thing with like a mental hurdle. How do you know it's something that you can't get past if you're not even working on it?
Yeah.
So
That
it
is.
kind of goes, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not about a physical component. It's
Mm-hmm.
more than just a physical component. You know what I mean? We're trying to break it down to where, like I said, you have longevity with your results, regardless if it's physically or mentally. We incorporate it all. That's what
Awesome.
we want to do.
Now, what is your goal like later on in the future with It's Only Weight and like for yourself?
My goal is to have impact. My goal is to create long-lasting impact. So when you hear the name It's Only Weight, you associate it with me, and then you have also another association of that it's not just physical weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Much more than that, though. I want people to look at it and be like, you know what? What do I say? It's the weight that you carry is only as heavy as the thought that you attach it to. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I want people to think about. You can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you look at it. What's your perception behind it?
Yeah.
So when you think that you can't squat that, bench this, pick up that, do this, get over that, move past this, well, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can. How are you going to go about it, though?
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at yourself. How are you going to go about it? So that's where I come from.
Yeah, like you said, you gotta have that mental. You gotta change that mental.
Right.
You can do it, but you're like, oh man, it's a lot of weight.
Right.
And I actually did this with you that one time when we were working out at ABC, and you're like, dude, I'm like, nah, man, it's like too heavy. You're like, no, do it, and I did it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It was just me in my mental thinking, okay, it's a lot of weight, I can't do it. But once I said, I can do it, I did it. So
right.
yeah.
That comes along with, not just, a lot of people are like that. A lot of people, face like an intimidation factor, or, they get anxious or they get fearful of something, that's really kind of out of their control. Well, once you get control over it, then it becomes easier.
Yeah.
Everything is in your grasp. There's certain things that you cannot control, but there's a lot of things that you can control.
For sure.
To things, how you act upon things, those are the things that you can control. So if you don't even try, you're not even giving yourself a chance.
For sure. Totally understood. So give yourself a try, people.
That's it.
Give it a try.
Shot, man. You can do it.
You can. It's just up here. Change that mental.
That's it, man.
That's it.
But you know what though? It's like, it's literally the things that we tell ourselves, the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. It's so much more than just a physical component. You know what I mean? It's what you do on a daily basis, how you talk to, who you interact with, what you're reading. All those things make up, the things that go on inside here, which ultimately going to reflect on the outside.
Absolutely correct.
Let me just do a Macarena. Like, what is that?
He said, No. So outside of like working out and whatnot, like what else are you like into doing? What do you enjoy?
What do I enjoy? I don't know, man. I like doing different things. I'm a reader.
Okay.
I do. A lot of people don't know this, but I do poetry. I've actually written a book. A lot of people don't know that. It's not something I really share, but however, that is something I'm into. I like to do different things. I like to be hands-on with things. Sure. I don't know, man.
Are you do you want to publish it?
It's already published.
Oh, gosh, man. How did I not know this, man? Like, dang.
I didn't really tell anybody though, but during the time of quarantine, I published a poetry book. It was some pieces that I've had like for years, and I just kind of put it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it together in an ebook format,
Okay.
and I put it on my website. It's onlyway.com. I'll put it up there.
Okay. What's the name of it?
Fearless poetry.
Very last poetry. So everyone, make sure you go to itsonlywait.com and get this book.
Yeah.
It will change your life.
Well, it's definitely gonna make you think a little bit.
It's gonna make you think. It will make you think. I'll go get it for sure.
It's something that I've always liked to do, and I enjoy. And I go back and forth with. I have my moments to where I'll write a lot, and I have my moments where I won't write at all. So for me, it's about the consistency because I'm human too. So things kind of get in the way, and I'm working through my own triggers. So
yeah, man. Like a lot of people, when talking about like stuff like that, a lot of people may look at you and be like, "Damn, man, this guy hasn't made." But on the other side, flip of things, they don't know exactly what you're gonna do yourself.
Right. That's kind of what most people do. But myself, I feel like people will look at me and get like intimidated by whatever. I don't know why, but there's
because you're a huge dude, man.
There's much more than just a physical component to me. I really try to indulge in reading materials and self-assessment books and like just to gain insight. Because once you gain insight with yourself, then you can utilize that and help other people. So I spent a lot of times reading books about self-help. I think that is imperative because I think a lot of people will avoid the internal dialogue. I'm over here trying to figure it out. I'm trying to have that chatter with myself so that I can progress and help the next individual that may be struggling with something. And I think it's important that me also being like a wellness coach, like a life coach, I think it's important that you share your own story, and in a sense that people can kind of relate to things and also show that you're human, because I don't got it all made. I'm out here trying to figure it out too. So.
It's crazy you say that because if you actually go to like other gyms and work with like trainers and you have these issues, most of the time they don't talk about it with the trainer because the trainer, they're no like, I don't want to say like a psychologist or anything, but they're just there to work you out.
Right.
And that's all they know.
Right.
Like you're you're different, which is why you offer what you offer, because you're experienced with these other, like you said, you're actually reading to help individuals, not just with their physical parts, but mentally as well, to get their minds to change. And that's good because like I said, just trainers nowadays, they're just focused on the physical part and that's it. I never went up to it. I talked to many trainers and I've never, had them ask me about, okay, how's your mentality? Like, what are you like thinking? Like, why do you think this way? They're just like, all right, lift this weight. All right, cool. Do this sets. All right, cool. And that's it.
Right.
So,
well, and for me, I don't knock any other trainer. However, if your trainer doesn't make you feel comfortable, if your trainer is not like your psychologist, like your counselor at that moment in time, then you might want to pick somebody a little bit different.
Yeah.
To anybody else. However, you at that moment in time, you're sharing time with this individual. So you want to make your client and your trainer should make you as comfortable as possible. Because for me, it's much more than just, a physical thing. Like I want you to walk away thinking about, how you can get better. And, I may offer like the life coaching service separately because some people just want to just be able to talk. It's important to have people that you can feel comfortable with and talk to and not know that the next person is going to run off and tell the next person and blah, 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 blah. However, I don't do none of that though. My goal is to, even if I'm training clients, like I want to make them as comfortable as possible. So, having that dialogue with somebody and, being able to joke around with somebody and, also keep them on track to what the goals are. However, you want to make the whole experience fun. You want to walk away with them knowing that, all right, so I did all of this, but at the end of it, I feel really good.
Yeah. And that's key.
Right.
Like you said, you have to make them feel comfortable, make them trust you.
Right.
And, it's not that fake trust. You actually care about your, making them better.
Right. Right.
And
I have it to where, people will hit me up, hit me up outside of the gym and we'll just chat. And it's cool with me. I don't have an issue because at that moment in time, I know that they're contacting me for a reason. They're contacting me for a purpose. Like, however I can help them, I will. I'll share my experience or I may, give a suggestion. Maybe you should think this way, or maybe you should think about it this way, or, we'll just engage in some type of dialogue to where that hopefully at the end of it, they'll gain like a new perspective.
Awesome. Good. So have you ever thought about like doing competitions? Have you done any competitions like fitness?
No, I have no desire to do any competition. My own competition is myself. That's it. I make the most of it every time that I get up. I get up early as hell.
Oh.
I get up super early. I've been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? Just that right there.
Yeah.
Competition.
Yeah. Right.
My goals are personal to my thoughts. If I'm having a really stressful day, if I feel something really just weighing on my conscience heavy, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lift heavy, or I'm gonna lift more, or I'm gonna run more, or I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna challenge myself. But that's my competition. I have no desire to, no powerlifting, no bodybuilding. Salute to those who do, not me.
Who would you say inspires you?
Who do I say inspires me? That's a good one. Besides, the personal people that I keep around, me.
Yeah.
It really inspires me. That sounded kind of selfish, and cocky, but however, what inspires me the most is the satisfaction of seeing somebody else doing something that they weren't able to do before. That's my inspiration. When somebody comes to me and has this look like I can't do it, in week 1, but week 3 they realize that they can do it. That's what inspires me. People relishing in the little wins. That's what inspires me. It's the simple things that are inspirational that kind of keep me going. That and just having those genuine connections with people and those genuine conversations with people. That's what's inspirational, man. They don't get nothing. It don't get no better than that. When your client call you talking shit or something like that. When you're working out with your client or they flick you off or something like that, I get that quite often. However, that's inspirational to me. I think that, ultimately that is a rewarding sign of me pushing them to do something different. I get the middle finger often though.
Yeah, you know what, Tony? I hate you, but I love it. Like,
or I'll get like a side eye or something like that, or I'll get somebody just mumbling something underneath their breath. So that's inspirational.
Like, really? Okay, great. That's good stuff. That's good. So, like, when you work out, what kind of music do you listen to?
Bro, you can't ask me this question. I listen to a wide variety of music, man. It's not just. I listen to more of. It depends on how I'm feeling too. Like sometimes I listen to more rap. Sometimes I listen to R&B. A lot of times I'm listening to like throwback '90s jams and stuff like that. But if I'm going to be listening to something, it's got to be something with substance. Sometimes I listen to things that just sound like all over the place. However, the majority of times I'm listening to things that are of substance and that just kind of got like a nice beat or melody to it, something like that. So it could be R&B.
Yeah. I listen to R&B when I work out.
Hey man, it could be anything,
Yeah. Good. Do you listen to any like podcasts or anything just in general?
I used to. However, I stopped doing that. I actually created my own podcast.
I remember you telling me a while ago.
Yeah. I did a couple episodes, but one of those things I just kind of stopped. I did 4. I did 4 episodes. I just kind of stopped. I just didn't. You got a voice, use it. If you got something to say it.
Yeah. Are you going to continue back with the podcast?
Get back on that though. I was looking for like a co-host. I don't know why. I just thought because doing it by yourself kind of gets difficult at times.
You need someone to back you up when you're kind of.
I think it's good with like that back and forth banter.
Yeah. Cool. So. Yeah, you guys feed each other off of each other's like energy and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. So, I think that'd be dope. I think that'd be dope. So you want to do it, Karate Kid? We could do it.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. What is it called, the podcast, so people can follow you on there?
It's Mental Caffeine.
Mental Caffeine.
Yeah. It's through. I gotta get the. I forgot who it's through. Anchor.
Through Anchor?
Yeah, through Anchor. Yeah, it's called Mental Caffeine.
Awesome. What else do you do for self-growth?
What else do I do to self-growth? Reflection. I think that's a key component to growth. Writing. I think those are the things that are key components to growth and self-regulation and awareness. And just having dialogue with people too. Sharing your story, because sometimes you're not always right. Sometimes you need to step outside of yourself and get a different perspective on things.
That is true.
That is key to awareness. But you can't go into it. You got to be open, willing, and ready to accept. Because if you don't have none of those, then you're just kind of just stuck in that closed off mindset, and you don't really want to. So,
gotcha. Do you travel a lot? And if you do, like, what's your favorite place to travel to?
I haven't traveled in quite some time, man. That's one thing I would like to do a little bit more. With COVID and everything like that, kind of put a halt on certain things, and you don't really want to go nowhere because you get to somewhere, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. You don't really want to go. So, but yeah, I mean, in the near future, I would like to.
Good. Now, like, I know I didn't mention this earlier, like eventually later on down the line, do you want to have like your own like gym?
I do. I would want my own gym, but I would want different components to that gym. And I think that, mental health is important. So maybe having like a counselor or two there. People can go in there and decompress that way before they decompress on the weights. But sometimes we think that the weights is cool, and yeah, that is therapy for a lot of people. However, why not really exercise your brain more? Really, decompact all of that, get all of that out. And another one too, I think that you hit them with the 1-2 punches. It's much more. It's much better for like a knockout, in a sense. So I would want different components to it. Nutrition, of course. Like I said, the whole counseling, health and wellness thing, I think that's important. Just different overall.
No, that would be cool. Cool. That's a little bit, like you said, that's a little bit different. No gyms really have anything like that.
Nah, man, a lot of people use the iron as their therapy.
Yeah, man. So that's all the questions I have for you for today. I appreciate you, being on Get to Know Me series. Yes.
You said I was the first in the fitness?
Yeah, the first for the fitness, yeah.
Talk about, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem, but thank you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, so everyone, if you guys want to follow Tony, his Instagram page is located at the bottom. And make sure that you go to itsonlyweight.com to get his ebook. And also stay tuned to the podcast that he'll be coming back out with. And if you have not heard of the podcast, make sure you go and subscribe to that page and start listening to those podcasts that he has out already. And make sure, guys, you go to right down here, boom, and subscribe to the page. All right. I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you. And everyone, stay up, stay blessed. Peace.
Man, appreciate it.